NBA.com welcomes you back to Las Vegas. We are covering the Summer League from the Thomas and Mack Center. Rick Kamla, Steve Smith, and one of the greatest coaches in the history of sport, Gregg Popovich, head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. And I am expecting a check off of that comment, by the way. Coach, it's great to have you here. We're concerned about Garrett Temple, who you just told us is your new favorite player. He's a terrific two-end player, turned the left ankle. What's his status?
I think at least it wasn't a high sprain, so I think he's going to be okay. Maybe he's going to miss a couple days, but right now they're going to go get it looked at. But I think he's going to be all right. And he's done a great job for us. We brought him in last year at the end of the season, and we're very impressed.
Coach, I was talking to Rick, and I said, you know what, he's a Popovich guy. When you talk about Garrett Temple, a two-way guy who gets up and defensively plays hard, and I saw you having conversation, and when he went down, you cut the conversation. I saw you concerned going in there. Tell me what you like about him. I know what you like about him, but for the fans, that he can defend the basketball, he's picking up 94 feet.
Exactly. You know, he wants to defend the basketball. I don't have to convince him. And he's long on top of it, and he's got a bounce to him. He's got an energy to him, and his game is smooth at the offensive end. You know, he looks a little bit like Gervin in a way, the way those arms and legs are going in all kinds of directions, but it's smooth. He can shoot the three. He's willing to pass. So I think he's a young player who's got a really good future ahead of him.
And what about Alonzo G? He could be a part of the plan for the San Antonio Spurs as well. Obviously, it's kind of a funny story. You let him get away. He goes to Washington. They don't sign him for the remainder of the season. You guys quickly brought him back. You obviously see something in Alonzo G that you like.
We do. He's got that. He's got athleticism, and with our group, you know, we need some athleticism. We need to, you know, get a little younger, get a little bit more athletic. I think everybody in the world knows that. But he understands what his role is, kind of like the way Bruce Bowen did when he was with us. If you see Alonzo today, he's rebounding the basketball, he's guarding, and with the ball, he's pretty quick. He can get to the hole. He's got to work on his shot, obviously, but he's a good young player, a good young athlete, and we're really high on him too.
Coach, a guy that didn't play, DeJuan Blair, I think you guys do it over and over. You found the steal of the draft, in my opinion. This is mentality to go get on the glass. I know he didn't play today, but what are you looking for in him this summer to gain to his game or add to his game?
That's a great question, Steve. We're, you know, last year he'd have some games where he'd score 20 points and a couple games more than that, and then someone would say, what did he do? I'd say, I don't know. You know, we didn't call his number. We didn't run a play for him. He doesn't shoot the ball. And
I'm surprised, Coach, you didn't run a play for him.
Exactly. and he scores. And so, you know, the best thing with a guy like that is, in some ways, leave him alone and let him play basketball. Let him do his thing. So now we want to make sure that Chip England's going to be working with him a lot and get him out to that, we call it the Karl Malone spot, that about, you know, 10, 12 feet off the lane. And he's got such quick feet. If he can start knocking that bank shot down and people come out on him, he can go by people. He's really got quick feet, so that shot is important for him. And then on the block, he's one of those guys that makes 14 moves at once, and we got to try to find out what he might do best and just screw him up.
So, Pop, Smitty and I were talking about how stacked your front line is right now. McDyess and Duncan, you're bringing Bonner back. You've got DeJuan Blair. And Thiago Splitter, is it official? Is he a San Antonio Spur at long last? And if so, tell everybody at home what the San Antonio Spurs are getting in Thiago Splitter, who's a bit of a mystery to us basketball fans.
He's a 6'11" kid from Brazil, you know, from their national team, and he's been, you know, probably the best big man over there for a couple of years. They won the championship in Spain, his team, and he was most valuable player. He's a blue-collar guy is the best way to describe him. He's not going to score like a Tim Duncan, but he's going to guard, he's going to rebound, he's going to run the floor, he's a hell of a passer, just a winner. He's got that Manu Ginobili kind of spirit in him. So it adds a lot of fiber to the group, and so we're excited to have him.
And we're excited for you. I mean, it's been a couple of years in the making here. And so in this interview, we've determined that you can't take a compliment, but you can give one to a player that you used to have there in San Antonio. And quickly before we head to break, your thoughts on Brent Barry coming off his rookie year in broadcasting. Do you have any words of wisdom to him, or maybe a shot or two at Bones?
No, I just think his humor was a lot better at our Tux and Tennies banquets.
Okay.
Than on TV. I think he's got to just let loose a little bit. He's a little bit too frightened about making a mistake.
Okay, all right. Sage advice from Gregg Popovich. Coach, thank you so much for stopping by. Gregg Popovich, head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. He's got 4 rings in his collection. We step aside. We're coming back with the Suns and the D-League Select team here from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas.